What's up? My name's Adam and welcome back to the Jamsville YouTube channel. I want to show you guys this really cool exercise that I've been working on the last couple of weeks, and I still need to keep working on it some more, but it's really helpful for your sweep picking and for your knowledge of arpeggios on the guitar neck. So let's check it out really quick. Okay, so this exercise is going to be based on the chord progression to one of my original songs. It's called My Divine. It's out on all streaming platforms. Go check it out. Come over here, stay with me. Your smile looks right back at me. But the chord progression is very simple. It goes from D minor 7 to F major 7, and then it goes from B flat major 7 to A minor 7. So if you're thinking it's actually in the key of F, it's the 6 to the 1 to the 4 to the 3 over and over again. So this arpeggio shape that you see on screen now, this is the first chord of that progression, D minor 7. But you might be wondering, well, why is it starting from an A then if it's supposed to be a D minor 7? That is because these arpeggio shapes that we're going to be using, the whole idea is that we're actually trying to find every single possible note that fits in that chord in the particular position that we're in. So you can actually do this in other positions, but we're just going to stick to this 5th fret to 8th fret position here. So the notes that are in a D minor 7 chord are D, F, A, and C. But the lowest one of those notes, of those letters that we can find, is A. So we're actually going to start on A. So we have A and C on the 6th string, then D and F on the 5th string. Now, before we continue, this is a sweep picking exercise. So the whole idea is that we're going to start on the first note with a downstroke. And if there's another note on the same string and we're moving up the arpeggio, so we're going higher in pitch, we're moving from the 6th string down in the direction towards the 1st string, we are going to hammer on the other note that is on the same string. So we're going to pick down and then hammer onto the C onto the 8th fret, and then we're going to pick down on the D that's on the 5th string, and we're going to hammer to F. So down, hammer, then we're going to hit this A here in the 4th string with our ring finger. By the way, we always want to try to keep our fingers assigned to a fret. So everything that's going to be on the 5th fret is going to be played with the 1st finger, and everything that's on the 6th fret is going to be the 2nd finger, and so on and so forth. These fingers are always going to stay on those frets. So we down, hammer, down, and then we down again on the C, hammer to D, down on F, down on A, hammer on C, and then when we turn around, we're actually going to pull off. So we have this at the top of the arpeggio on that 1st string. And then now we do the opposite. So we're going to use all up strokes and pull off. So up on F, up on D, pull off to C, up on A, up on F, pull off to D, up on C, pull off to A. So we're going to play through that arpeggio exactly one time like that, and then we are going to move on to the next arpeggio in the song, which is F major 7. So really slowly, this is what that looks like. And then now, right there, I just hit the A. Actually, I'll give you a little spoiler alert. Every single one of the arpeggios in this exercise is going to start with that A on the 5th fret of the 6th string. So now we're going to move to F major 7. So F major 7 actually has F, A, C, and E in it. And if you notice, actually, this D minor 7 already has F, A, and C in it. So the F major 7 arpeggio is really interesting because we're just going to move all the Ds up to E. And so now here's our F major 7 arpeggio. So actually it's very, very, very similar. And that's one of the reasons, by the way, just getting a little off topic, that I could actually play the F major 7 arpeggio over a D minor chord and it would give me like a D minor 9 sound. But that's beyond the scope of this lesson. I want to focus on this exercise. So now we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to sweep through it. So all downs when we're going up the shape and all ups when we're going back down the shape, and hammer-ons on the way up and pull-offs on the way down. So down hammer on A and C, down hammer on E and F, down on A, down on C, then down hammer on E and F on the second string, down hammer on A and C on the first string. And the same thing, we're gonna pull back off. So, and then now up, pull off, up, pull off, up, pull off. So far we have this. Here's the first D minor 7 shape I showed you. Then I switch. Now, actually, I forgot to mention one thing is actually when I switch to the next arpeggio, like when I was coming down that D minor 7 arpeggio, and I hit that A, I actually pulled off to the A. So actually, the next arpeggio is actually starting with a note that's already pulled off. So we actually just go, and then now I'm on the F major 7 arpeggio I just showed here. So actually, both ends of the arpeggio, once you get into it after the beginning, you're going to have this either a hammer and then a pull, or a pull off and then a hammer. Again, the whole idea of sweep picking too is that it's like the most efficient way to play these things fast, okay? So we're going to move on to the next arpeggio, and that's actually going to be B flat major 7. So B flat major 7 has the notes B flat, D, F, and A in it. So we actually already have A here, but we're going to move the C to B flat here, and then we're actually going to have D here instead. So this is what the arpeggio shape looks like. And as you can see, my software there is calling the B flat A sharp, but it is B flat. It's the same note. So here is our B flat major 7 shape. Very, very cool sounding, especially when you play through it faster. So we just approached from that F major 7 shape that we were on. So we go F, E, and then C, A. And then now, like I said before, we just pulled off to that A. So now we're just going to go straight up to the B flat there. It's on the 6th fret of the 6th string. So we actually end up starting the B flat major 7 like that, from the 8th fret of the 6th string to the 5th fret to the 6th fret. And then down hammer, down hammer, down, down, down hammer, pull off, up, pull, up, pull. That's the picking and sweeping pattern for that B flat major 7 shape. And then now we just finally got back down to this A. So now the last chord, remember it was D minor 7, F major 7, B flat major, and then A minor 7. So now actually a lot of you should know this shape already. This kind of comes from your A minor pentatonic scale, this arpeggio shape right here, A minor 7. Now this one actually, funny enough, it's very easy to visualize, but there's a tricky thing that I'll show you here which kind of messes me up, and I still need to keep practicing it for this reason. So we just pulled from the B flat to A, so now we're going to hammer to C, and then we're going to down an E, down, hammer on from G to A, and then now we're going to down, down on C and E. And this you need to bar or finger roll. So you don't want to hold this down like this, because then it sounds like a chord. It sounds like you're playing multiple notes at the same time. We want to keep it separate so that it makes a line. You have to figure out how to play this and subtly rock your finger to the second string so that now the third string's muted. Very tricky thing about sweeping when you are actually using the same finger on multiple strings. And so then now we get to the E and we go down, hammer, pull, up, pull. And that is the full arpeggio exercise. So let me just show it to you slowly so that you can copy what I'm doing, and then you can work it up with a metronome, and I'll show you what it sounds like with a metronome. Now we're back at the beginning. Now I'd go back to the D minor 7. And then so if you play it faster, it'll start to sound really cool. So the really difficult thing about this too is the fact that there's these big sweeping shapes. And I feel pretty comfortable sweeping like smaller shapes. For example, there's this really cool like little X shape that I like to play a lot in my solos that looks like this. So this is actually like half of that D minor 7 shape. It's basically like taking off the 6th, 5th, and 4th strings. Like I'm super comfortable doing this kind of thing because it's kind of less information to deal with. But that's one of the reasons why I want to start doing this exercise, because I realize I need to go back and get those bigger sweeping shapes down a little bit more smoothly, and that'll unlock some more stuff in my playing. So eventually you want to try to work this up so you can play as 16th notes, and this is what it sounds like at 60 BPM with 16th notes. So you got a 1 E and a 2 E and a... Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed that quick little lesson. I hope that this helps you get your sweep picking down, and go check out my song, My Divine. That's the chord progression that this came from. I'm trying to figure out a way to start integrating my original music more with this channel. So if there's any suggestions that you guys have as to how I can do that, please drop a comment below. And also, if you want to learn how to master the guitar fretboard, make sure you head on over to Jamsville.com and pick up the Jamsville GPS Fretboard Fundamentals course. All right, everybody, thanks for watching, and until next time, listen, learn, and jam.